All right. Everyone come close. Everyone come close. Come close to the stage here. You look like the sort of people who wanted to make sure not to miss one note of tonight's dance. And we want you to be the first to get that note. So that's why we brought you close, so that it's coming right at you. So my job is so easy because all I have to do is say something like, Lindy, focus! Jonathan Stout and his orchestra playing the music of Benny Goodman.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jonathan Stout, and this is my orchestra. And welcome to night 2 of Lindy Focus. Tonight we play for you the music of Benny Goodman. And to do that, we have brought in a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, on the clarinet, give it up for Felix Pikely. If you didn't stay up and dance with us at late night, you missed one for the ages, because that was like the most amazing set, and Felix just destroyed. So I'm so excited to share him with all of you guys now. That was, of course, Stompin' at the Savoy, a song that was a hit for Chick Webb, but became an even bigger hit for Benny Goodman. And look behind me. It's Laura Windley, everybody. Now, besides being, this is a great feature for Laura. I'd never heard her sing this, and when she ran it at Soundcheck, it was really delightful. But this is also the 80th anniversary of Benny Goodman's famous Carnegie Hall concert. Funny because it was in January 1938, so it's actually closer to 81 at this point. But who cares? We don't care. We're not gonna be that careful, right? We're just gonna go with it. So this is a song that they sang at, or they played at Carnegie Hall with Martin Tilton singing. And so we are going to have Laura Windley render it for you. This is called Loch Lomond, which is the only bagpipe-related material I think we have.
On the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond, by yon bonny banks and by yon bonny braes, where the sun shines bright on Loch Lomond, where me and my true love forever want to gain, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Now you take the high road and I'll take the low road. I'll be in Scotland before you, for me and my true love may never meet again, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond. Twas there that we parted in yon shady glen, on the steep, steep side of Ben Lomond, where in purple hue the Highland hills we view, and the sun coming out in the gloaming. But I'll be in Scotland before you, for me and my true love may never meet again, on the bonny banks, on the bonny, bonny banks, on the bonny, bonny banks of Loch Lomond, Loch Lomond. Thank you.
Laura Windley singing Loch Lomond. We're going to keep her up here and have her do another one. This is an arrangement from 1936. And Laura's going to sing it for you on Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea.
see. I'll cross you off my list, but when you come a knocking at my door, fate seems to give my heart a twist, and I come running back for more. I should hate you, but I guess I love you. You got me in between the devil and the deep blue sea. Thank you.
Laura Windley singing Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. We're going to keep things moving along with a tune that actually goes back before Benny Goodman, but it's such a great version. This is a tune called The Big John Special. All right, that was called the Big John Special. Now, Big John actually ran a lunch counter and was very friendly to the musicians and would hook them up with a meal now and again. And so that's how that tune became Big John Special, and in honor of a guy that would help a musician out, give him a free lunch every once in a while. Up next for you, we're going to do a tune from 1936, and this is one of my favorites. This is called Jam Session. I'll get that in a minute. I can use some cough drops out of my messenger bag. I think it's time we cooled it down a little bit after that. We've got Ms. Laura Windley up next to me to sing this next song. It's another tune from 1936, which was a banner year for Benny Goodman. Some of his, probably his peak was 1935 to 1938. And this is one of the classics. This is called You Turn the Tables on Me.
on me. And now I'm falling for you. You turn the tables on me. I can't believe that it's true. I always thought when you brought the lovely presents you bought, why hadn't you brought me more? But now if you come, I'd welcome anything from a 5 and 10 cent store. You used to call me the doll. You put me up on a throne. You let me fall with a drop. And now I'm not on my own. But after thinking it over and over, I got what was coming to me. Just like the sting of a bee, you turn the tables on me. Thank you.
All right, everybody. Up next for you, we're going to do a Fletcher Henderson arrangement. A bunch of these tunes probably are Fletcher Henderson arrangements, and since they weren't marked, I didn't remember to mention it. But Fletcher Henderson was one of the most important parts of Benny Goodman's success, because Fletcher Henderson's arrangements, besides being kind of the original big band as early as the 20s, his 1930s arrangements really defined what a swing big band is. And there's a certain sense of syncopation that Fletcher Henderson has that I just don't think you could beat. Benny Goodman's my favorite band leader of all time, and these charts are exactly why. Now, in 1938, there was a radio broadcast where Benny Goodman brought Fletcher Henderson on stage to demonstrate what it's like to have a swing band and what the different sections do. And since I'm actually slightly ahead of schedule, I'm going to do that for you guys if you're up for it. There's a little educational component. I know at Lindy Focus it's important that we have an appreciation for the music and appreciation for the dance and our history. And so here's a little bit of education. This is how a band works. Now, Fletcher got up at the piano, and Benny said, well, how did you come up with the arrangement for this song, which is Irving Berlin's Blue Skies? And he said, well, this is how Irving Berlin wrote it, was kind of square. So it went along something like that. Now, Fletcher said, well, that's fine, but we got to make it swing. So then he played something like this. That swings, right? That was Christopher Dawson at the piano. So Fletcher said, Benny, can I borrow the band from you? So he said, you take it, go ahead. So he said, well, this is what I wrote for the trumpets. Letter B, the second chorus. Yeah, just play the first 3 bars of the second chorus. With the brass. Letter B. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that isn't just being played alone, that's being joined by the sax section. So let's hear what that sounds like at letter B, those 8 bars. All right. Now, some things like chocolate and peanut butter are often made better when they're put together. Let's put those 2 sections together. Let's have both play. So that call and response, the way that the saxophones are filling holes in the melody with their own little melodies, that's like textbook Fletcher Henderson, and that's what made him such a great arranger. But Fletcher wasn't done there. He's like, well, we're missing a section. We need to add the rhythm section, because that's what makes it a swing band. So we're going to put them all together, and you can hear what it sounds like. All right. And that is how you arrange for a swing band, at least according to Fletcher Henderson. So I've teased you with this song long enough, and rather than do what they did on the actual session, is start the song and then stop again, we're going to go right into it. But I do want to say, if you're wondering where the introduction comes from, it is rather chaotic and dissonant sounding. And so Benny says to Fletcher, well, how did you come up with that introduction? And Fletcher says, and this is a Fletcher Henderson impression, so take what you will. I know you're all very familiar. But he says, why, Benny, I'm surprised at you. That's the storm. Blue skies from now on. So the conception is that we start with a storm, and then the clouds part, and we have blue skies. So here is Fletcher Henderson's arrangement for Benny Goodman of Irving Berlin's Blue Skies. I'd like to dedicate that song to my good friend Casey McGill, because he was the first person that ever played that for me, that live air check. So I hope you enjoyed a little musical education with your dancing. Laura Whitley has joined us up on stage, and we're going to move it right along. This is another tune recorded in 1936, and this is called The Glory of Love. All right, folks, we have two more songs for you this set. This next one is one that's really special to me. By the way, big ups to our stage crew. They really take care of us. Alex. There's a lot of back and forth between here and Crown, so big ups to those guys. This next song was a concerto written for one of Benny Goodman's musicians. I've said this before, so I'll try and make it quick, but Benny Goodman was a kind of aloof dude, and he really just loved the clarinet. And he wasn't like a mean guy or a bad guy. He was just kind of like in his head all the time thinking about music. And so he could kind of be like off in the clouds most of the time, and you wouldn't even remember that he was talking to you because he would just be thinking about something else. But he did have a profound love for some of these musicians, and I talked about this last night, that when he met Teddy Wilson, he immediately asked him to join the band, even though there was a problem with the color barrier, and being like, no, I don't care. Teddy Wilson's the best pianist. I'm going to have him in my band. Same thing when he met Lionel Hampton. It was just, no, I got to have this guy. I want to play with this guy. He inspires me. Well, in 1939, he met a young guitar player by the name of Charlie Christian. And Charlie Christian played an electrified guitar, which was basically a laboratory experiment at that point. I mean, this model Gibson guitar up here is from 1937. That's the first commercially produced electric guitar model. It's like figure 1, version 1.0. And he took that and ran with it and basically revolutionized music. We played Shivers last night, and the kind of bends with the little bit of a fuzz, it's like, that's rock and roll almost at that point. And again, like I said, Benny was kind of a aloof dude. There's like a lot of clarinet solos, and sometimes there aren't as many other instrumental solos in Benny's music. Not as bad as Artie Shaw. Artie Shaw is like the Artie Shaw show. But like, it was a real big deal that Benny specifically had Jimmy Mundy write an arrangement to feature Charlie Christian. And so we're going to do that song for you now. This is one of my favorites. It's from 1941, and it is called Solo Flight. Hey guys, can I just show you one thing about what I meant about version 1.0? Just everybody shh real quick for a second. Okay, listen to the hum. So version 2.0 was like, let's not have it do that. So unfortunately, we're using version 1.0 because we care about fidelity, so I just have to make sure I point that way. So I'll remember that. This is Charlie Christian and Benny Goodman's Solo Flight. Charlie Christian, Solo Flight. And by the way, I want to say hi to my wife and son at home. We're watching on the live stream. My son, Charlie. All right, we're going to do one more song for you this set. Give it up for Felix Pikely on the clarinet. And the rest of our amazing Lindy Focus All-Stars, Keenan McKenzie, Jonathan Doyle, Jacob Zimmerman, Albert Alva, Emily Asher, Lucian Cobb, Gordon Au, Ken McGee, Noah Hawker, Chris Dawson on the piano, Jen Hodge on bass, Josh Colazzo on drums, and of course, Miss Laura Windley. Now, I'm going to play this next song. We're all going to play this next song. And if something happens, that's great. And if you want to just dance to it, that's great too. But certain songs have a Pavlovian nature to them, and, well, I can't argue with that. So, we give you Swing Time in the Rockies.
Jonathan Stout Orchestra and the music of Benny Goodman. They have 2 more sets. Yes. It's so good. I became a high schooler again. It's time for some performances. Woo. soggy mountaintops of Asheville, North Carolina. Jonathan Stout and his orchestraire extraordinaire come tonight to swing to you the music of one of the great kings of swing, Benny Goodman. Wearing the clarinet crown tonight is a modern king of the clarinet himself, Felix Pikely. With his lips on a finely tuned licorice stick, you'll be flying high straight to the woodside in no time. Whether sailing lightly and politely or jumping and driving, these coated cats are going to help you cut the floor. The name of this ditty says it all. Let's dance.
Welcome back, everybody. That was Benny Goodman's theme song, Let's Dance. His broadcasts on that radio program of that same name on the NBC network were broadcast at 8 o'clock on the, at midnight on the East Coast, but they aired earlier on the West Coast, because math. And because Benny was able to reach an audience at 8 p.m., he actually got success when he came over to the West Coast. If you've ever heard that story from the Palomar Ballroom. And that propelled him all the way to playing Carnegie Hall. And this next song was featured at Carnegie Hall in his concert in 1938. And it was what they started off the evening with. And we're going to play it next for you. It's called Don't Be That Way. Don't Be That Way. We are joined again by Miss Laura Windley. She's going to deliver this next song, one of my favorite songs about Schadenfreude. And this is called Goody Goody.
Thank you.
Up next for you, we're going to have Laura sing another one. And this was a transcription done by our own very Michael Gamble. And so this is something you can, outside of Lindy Focus, you can hear with the Rhythm Serenaders Orchestra. So definitely check them out at their next gig where you can hear Laura sing this song. So thank you, Michael Gamble, for lending us this transcription. And this is one of 3 tunes. We're going to play all 3 of them, actually, that Benny Goodman got Ella Fitzgerald to record with him. And the funny fact is that the Ella Fitzgerald's record company, because she was with Chick Webb at the time, was like, no, you cannot use our awesome star singer. So they actually had to like pull the records off the shelves, and they re-recorded at least one of them. And some of these didn't see the light of day until much, much later, but thankfully they did. And so now we get to pray for you. Did you meet, wait, Take Another Guess. I'm sorry, I pulled up the wrong chart. This is a song called Take Another Guess. Now, for our next song, I'm actually going to call an audible. And we're going to swap out this next song for something else. So, Heidi, you're good. Don't worry about it. This next song is from 1937. This is an arrangement by Mary Lou Williams. Mary Lou Williams was an amazing piano player and arranger who mostly worked with Andy Kirk and his 12 Clouds of Joy. And she was just a fantastic pianist and also a fantastic arranger. We're going to play two of her arrangements for Benny Goodman tonight. This is definitely her most famous one for Benny. This is one of my favorites. It kind of has a boogie-woogie feel despite not being boogie-woogie. This is one of my absolute favorite tunes. This is called Roll 'Em. Give it up for Felix Pikely on the clarinet, Chris Dawson on piano, and Noah Hawker on trumpet. Well, wow, that was fun. Up next for you, we're going to bring up another special guest on vibraphone, Joseph Doubleday. Now, in the on the days when Benny Goodman was on the radio, people would write letters and send in requests, and on their weekly broadcasts, sometimes they would be asked to repeat a song. And we have gotten a bunch of requests from people to reprise this next song, and so we're going to feature the the magic of Joseph Doubleday, Felix Pikely on this one. We talked a bunch last night about how Benny Goodman loved certain musicians, and he made stuff happen because he loved those musicians, and it didn't matter what color they were or who they were, he just loved their music. And so when Benny Goodman met Teddy Wilson, he started the Benny Goodman Trio just so that he could feature Teddy Wilson. And now it's Teddy Wilson, Gene Krupa, and Benny. And when he met Lionel Hampton, he fell in love with Lionel Hampton. He said, we're going to have a small group, and Lionel Hampton and Teddy Wilson and Gene Krupa and Benny, we're going to do feature songs in the middle of our sets. So this is one of probably the best achievements of the Benny Goodman Quartet, which means all of us are just going to lay out and hang out and watch too. So we're going to feature Felix Pikely, Joseph Doubleday, Christopher Dawson on piano. By the way, make a point to listen for the fact that there is no bass player playing. That is Chris Dawson's left hand all by its lonesome. And Josh Claus on the drums. Here is Avalon. Joseph Doubleday on the vibraphone, Felix Pikeman at the clarinet, Christopher Dawson on piano, Josh Claus on drums. In case you're wondering where that came from, there's a movie from 1937 called Hollywood Hotel, and it features several scenes with the Benny Goodman Quartet and the whole orchestra, and they play this delightful medley. When I'm having a bad day and I need something to cheer me up, I will Google Benny Goodman Heart Full of Music, and it's like the second clip down, and they play one chorus with the whole band of I've Got a Heart Full of Music, a tune that Benny never recorded otherwise, and it's a killing arrangement, probably by Fletcher. Then all of a sudden it cuts to Lionel Hampton playing that introduction lick to Avalon, and then you've got a chorus of that. And then surprise, the big band answers, and then all of a sudden they jump into the shout chorus of House Hop. So I hope you guys were surprised. I would have told you the story up front, but it would have ruined the surprise. All right, well, we're going to bring Miss Laura Windley up. She's already here. That's so awesome. This is a tune from 1942 that featured Benny's singer at the time, a lady that went on to do other great things, Peggy Lee. And this is called Why Don't You Do Right?
Years ago, you wouldn't be wandering round from door to took you in. Now all you have to offer me is a drink of gin. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Get out of here and get me some money too. Why don't you do right like some other men do? Like some other men do. Thank you.
Laura Wintley, everybody. Gordon now on that plunger trumpet. Of course, Felix Pikely on clarinet. I think it's time we brought Joseph Doubleday back up on the vibraphone. How about you? So we're going to do one of the sextet numbers that featured Charlie Christian. This is a tune that we will probably be doing at least twice tomorrow. But this is how it started. This is the original version from 1939, the classic Flying Home. Joseph Doubleday on clarinet, on the vibraphone. Felix Pikely on the clarinet. We'll make Joe play clarinet later. We've got some more of Joe coming up later in our next set. Plus, he'll be featured, of course, late night with the music of the Lionel Hampton All-Star Small Groups, played by Michael Gamble and his Rhythm Serenaders. Laura joins us on this next song, and this is a tune that Benny played at Carnegie Hall with the full orchestra. Did not record that version elsewhere, and it features a giant mazurka breakdown in the middle of it that we have edited out since we don't want to do the hora. We're Lindy hopping now. We can do the hora later. But this particular song, of course, is probably the most famous piece of Yiddish you'll ever find. And believe it or not, Yiddish was sort of a fad in the 1930s. And this comes from a musical that became very popular. This is, of course, the only song that really survived from it. But this is the classic. I'm pretty sure when you saw the movie Swing Kids, the Bymir Bistushane in that movie is sort of based on this. We're not going to do the tempo changes, but we'll do what Benny did at Carnegie Hall. Here's this Laura to sing it. This is Bymir Bistushane. everybody. All right. We have time for just one more song this set. But please give it up one more time for Laura Windley on vocals. She co-leads the Mint Julep Jazz Band out of Durham, North Carolina. And sings, of course, with Michael Gamble and his Rhythm Serenaders. Give it up for our special guest, Joseph Doubleday on the vibraphone. And of course, our very special guest, Felix Pikely on the clarinet. And this band, Keenan McKenzie on tenor and Barry and clarinet. Jonathan Doyle on alto and clarinet. Jacob Zimmerman on alto and clarinet. Albert Alva, tenor and clarinet. On trombones, Lucian Cobb and Emily Asher. On trumpet, give it up for Gordon Howe, Noah Hawker, and Ken McGee. On piano, Christopher Dawson. On bass, Jen Hodge. On drums, of course, Josh Colazzo. And as for me, my name is Jonathan Stout. Thank you all so much for being here. Lindy Focus is kind of the highlight of my year every year, so I'm so grateful that you're all here to share it with us and making it all possible. I did want to say one thing about making it possible. One of the things that allows all of us musicians to keep working, because unfortunately, not every day is Lindy Focus. I know, right? Michael and Jaya would be so stressed all the time. But one of the things you can do to help us keep this going is purchase a CD in the merch booth and in the lobby. Help these artists keep doing what they're doing all year long. It really means a lot. There's at least 3 of us that have records that were released in the last week or 2. Plus, almost everybody's got CDs for sale out there. Check it out. Well, I thank you for that commercial announcement and letting me make that. And I also am thankful to say, not every day can be Lindy Focus. But today is. So we're going to close with this set with a Benny Goodman number that is one of my absolute favorite recordings of all time. It was done live over the air from the Hotel Pennsylvania in New York in 1937. And it was never recorded by the band commercially, so but not for this air check being recorded, this would have been lost to history. It's a Cole Porter tune, which is not something that Benny did a ton of. It's funny, it's kind of a long song, the form of the song, but it just slays so hard, and I'm so excited to share it with you. We specially redid the chart this year. I redid the chart this year because it's a really hard tune to play, and if the chart's not clear, it's tough. So I can't wait to share this with you. Felix Pikely on the clarinet, the Jonathan Stout Orchestra, the music of Benny Goodman, and this is Riding High.
Jonathan Stout and his orchestra, and the music of Benny Goodman. They have another set, one more full set. You didn't miss it all, they got more. We have a performance for
one banana split and all the cats join in. Now drop your jack in the old jukebox, play your favorite disc. When you dance with the Bobby Sox, you dance at your own risk. Rip, everybody swing, let's swing till the rafters ring and all the cats join in. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Lindy Focus. Welcome to the people joining us on the live stream. That was Miss Laura Windley singing for you the classic All the Cats Join In from the 1944 Disney movie Make Mine Music. It was the less successful follow-up to Fantasia, but it's got some legit collegiate shag moves in that animation for sure. We're gonna keep it going with the bring back one more quartet number, and we got Felix here, we got Joe Doubleday on the vibraphone, and again featuring Josh Colazzo on drums and Christopher Dawson on piano. So no bass, no rhythm guitar, all Chris and Josh. And this is one of my favorite little tunes. It's recorded in 1936. It's 37, right? Oh, sorry, I'll ding. This is called T for Two. One more hand for Joseph Doubleday on the vibraphone. If you love that, you're going to love tonight's late night. The music of the Lionel Hampton All-Star Small Groups, featuring Joseph Doubleday and Michael Campbell and the Rhythm Serenaders. Our next tune we're going to bring Laura back up for. This is another one of the tunes that Ella Fitzgerald recorded with the Benny Goodman Orchestra that was yanked off the shelves. Again, we owe Michael Gamble for this transcription, so thank you very much, Michael, for lending this from the library of the Rhythm Serenaders Orchestra. So if you want to hear this tune again outside of Benny Goodman Night, check out the Rhythm Serenaders Orchestra. This is a favorite tune of mine from 1936. This is called Did You Mean It?
you.
Well, we can't let Laura leave without singing a little bit more. Here's another tune from 1936, and this is Sing Me a Swing Song and Let Me Dance. That was Laura Windley, everybody. We're going to bring her out one more time. Now, I mentioned Charlie Christian before. Of course, my hero. I named my own son after him. He recorded 3 songs with the Benny Goodman Big Band. We already played Solo Flight, which was written just for him. The next one is a tune called... well, I don't remember the title, but it's terrible, so just you can skip that one. Pretend it never happened. And this Fletcher Henderson arrangement, it has one of my favorite Charlie Christian solos in it. And we're going to feature the electric guitar on it. This is called Honeysuckle Rose. One, two, 3, 4. Honeysuckle Rose. Of course, that's Felix Pikely on the clarinet, ladies and gentlemen. One of the privileges of being the band leader and getting to pick the tunes is that I get to play all my favorites. So I keep saying this is my favorite this or my favorite that because these are all of my favorites, and it's really delightful that I just get to pick the ones that are awesome. And this is one of the tunes that I DJ almost every single time I DJ at a dance. And it's one of the rare times that a 5-minute song is absolutely worth every second of it. This was recorded again live over the air in 1937. And this is the St. Louis Blues. after those technical difficulties, I thought it was rather important that we make sure we heard the whole Chris Dawson piano solo. By the way, you should all know how unbelievably thankless and hard running sound is. A friend of mine once said, running sound is the only job where not noticing you only notice if something bad happens. It could be the best sound in the world, and everyone's like, yeah, that's great, that's fine. I'm not even thinking about it. And then, so I have to say, big ups to the sound crew, because amplifying this music is incredibly hard, and all night on stage, I've just felt like I'm riding on a cloud because the sound up here is so good. So thank you, Michael Strickland, and all the folks on the sound crew. Up next, we're going to move it on to another Mary Lou Williams arrangement. And again, Mary Lou Williams was a fantastic piano player and arranger who wrote for Andy Kirk and his 12 Clouds of Joy, as well as for a few others. This is another one of the tunes she did for Benny, and this is called the Campbell Hop. All right, we have just a few more songs for you. We're going to bring Laura Whitley out for just one more song for you tonight. Yeah, give it up for Laura Whitley. This is the final of the 3 songs that Benny Goodman recorded with Ella Fitzgerald. We had our good friend Dan Barrett do this transcription. And this is one that Benny immediately re-recorded with his vocalist at the time. And I think jazz history will tell you if you listen to it that the Ella Fitzgerald one is the version. And this is delightful. It's a beautiful song. And I hope you enjoy Laura singing it. This is called Good Night, My Love. Laura Winley, everybody. Well, we usually use that song as a way of saying our time here is done for now. We have just one more song for you for the music of Benny Goodman tonight. I want to thank you all for being here. Hello to all the people on the live stream at home. Give it up one more time for our special guest on vibraphone, Joseph Doubleday. Give it up for this band. On saxophone, Jonathan Doyle, Jacob Zimmerman, Keena McKenzie, and Albert Alva. On trombone, Emily Asher and Lucian Cobb. Our trumpets, of course, Gordon Howe Ken McGee, and Noah Hawker. On piano, Christopher Dawson. On bass, Jen Hodge. And our very, very special guest on clarinet, Felix Pikely, everybody. Again, thank you for supporting this event and making an event like this possible. Without your feet here on this floor, we can't do amazing stuff like this. Oh, we'll get to him. Thank you, Brandy Farabee, for making sure that I didn't forget anybody, which is good because we'll get there. But I just want to say thank you for being here because your feet being here allows this to happen. So thank you all. Give yourselves a big round of applause for being here and making Lindy Focus possible. Our last song is kind of a fait accompli. We kind of have to, and because how can you not? But remember what I've said about this song before. You can let it become stilted. You can let it be de rigueur and expected, and just like, oh, we do this again. Well, I'm not into it. But if you do it with sincerity, and you do it with love, and you do it with feeling, and you do it with soul. This is as close to a religious experience as I feel you can get on stage. And I saved him for last because you can't do this song like this without him. Josh Colazzo on the drums. Thank you so much. My name is Jonathan Stout. This is my orchestra, and this is Sing, Sing, Sing! Thank you all so much. We love you. Good night. I already see some hand signs in the audience. I'm just gonna fill for just 1 second. Just gonna like take a breath. Oh, Zach, you're delightful. Part 2 it is! Give it up for this band. Jonathan Doyle, Peter McKenzie, Jacob Zimmerman, Albert Alva, Lucia Cobb, Emily Asher, Gordon Au, Noah Hawker, and Ken McGee. Felix Pikely on the clarinet, Josh Palazzo on drums, Chris Dawson on piano, Jen Hodge on bass. My name is Jonathan Stout. This is my orchestra. This has been the music of Benny Goodman. And we have just one more thing for you before late night. Here's Benny Goodman's closing theme. Goodbye.
From the tip tops of the Foggy Mountain tops, you've been enjoying Jonathan Stout and his orchestra and the music of Benny Goodman. From all of us here on the bandstand, we wish you a lovely and pleasant good night.
Good night, everybody. See you at late night.